So for the first question, we want to know, when you were younger, like about our age, did you have any picture of what your career would be? Was it different from one you have now, or was it the same?
Well, I didn't think I would be a principal to begin with, but at 12, 13, I probably wanted to do something like be a soccer player or a sports athlete, that kind of thing. But I really didn't have a specific idea of what I wanted to be at that time.
What do you like about being a principal?
Oh, I like working with staff and students and trying to make a difference for a large number of students. When I was a classroom teacher, you had your 25, 30 students in the class, but now I feel I can make a bigger difference in the school because now there's 300, 400, 500 students in a school. So that's the thing that I like about being a principal.
What was your first job?
My first job, believe it or not, was selling clothes. I sold uniforms to students, like high school students.
Oh.
Yeah.
So let's just say we had an action project, and so how would you convince the school board to give the school extra funding on materials?
Well, yeah, I think you're right. You'd have to start off with some sort of action plan. You'd have to demonstrate to the school board what the needs were for that action plan, and then working with a large number of different people, so whether it's students, parents, staff, the school board, then try to put that in place. So there was a lot of steps that would you'd have to put in place, and then you would always because money is always an issue, you would try to find ways where for example, fundraising, if it's some issues that maybe parents and students could help with, and then other issues, other areas where the government could help with, or school boards, that kind of thing. But you really need to demonstrate what the need is and how it's important for the school and for the community, and then begin with that.
Okay, so what's it like being principal now, and how is it different from principals when you were in school?
Well, now it's probably the same as when I was growing up. It's a very busy job. It can change very quickly if something happens. So sometimes, it seems like you don't have control of your day, because if an emergency happens, whatever, that somebody gets hurt or whatever, you have to deal with it. You can't put that to the side. So even though you might want to do these 3 things for the morning and something happens, you have to deal with it. So that's one thing I actually kind of like about being a principal, is that you have that flexibility in the schedule. Growing up, the only time I met my principal was when I was in trouble. So I don't know too much about how it's changed, other than there's a lot more community involvement now. So I think principals are expected to really work with students and the community to make a change in the school, and with their staffs, of course. So that's, I think, one thing that's changed.
Okay.
That's all the questions we have.
So thank you for your time.
Oh, thank you for asking.
Hope you had a good holiday.
Yeah, you too.
Happy New Year.